My name is Brad Lawless. I am the product marketing manager for Tiny MCE. I'm very happy to be with you today. We are going to spend a few minutes talking about how you can unlock content creator potential using the Tiny MCE editor in Moodle. Well, clearly I don't know how to do the animations on my own slide, but that's okay. So we all know that Moodle is dedicated to equipping and empowering educators to develop their best work. Tiny MCE very much is thrilled to be a part of that, and we want to help you create engaging, personalized, and accessible learning experiences for your students. In 2022, Moodle conducted a survey of users. There were 266 participants to better understand which integrations were most popular and were perceived as bringing the most value. In that survey, excuse me, the participants, 43% of those who responded said that they performed more than one role in their organization. So not only were they an educator, but they were probably also an instructional designer and probably a Moodle administrator. Not a big surprise that the number one task they felt that they needed help in was content creation. And the number one integration interest then was content creation tools, and that's where we come in. So we're gonna spend a few minutes talking about how you can use the editor to create better workflows, build lessons faster, improve content quality. And then we're gonna spend the last, 3-4 slides talking about writing better AI prompts. AI is a big topic. I've heard it repeatedly. While we were here, Matt had a great presentation yesterday on the new subsystem. We've used AI for quite a while at Tiny and have learned a few lessons that I'm excited to share with you. So the editor that is in the Moodle core is our open source product. It's got a great set of tools. We also have a premium version that's available for licensing, and that's some of those features I'm going to talk about right now. One of the most popular is PowerPaste. How many people are really, really good at copying from Word, pasting into a text document, and then copying and pasting back into an editor? No. None of us have ever had to do that, or maybe 50 times yesterday. Our PowerPaste plugin allows you to cleanly copy and paste from Word or from other HTML documents without losing formatting. This is actually, I realized as I was getting ready for this, probably not the best recording of this. We can show you that in our booth later if you'd like to see an example of it. It saves a ton of time though. When time is your most precious commodity, this helps you gain a little bit of it back. Enhanced tables. So this gives you a bit more of a Microsoft Word experience when you're working with tables in the editor. As you can see, you can add columns, remove columns, sort, letting you get that information in more quickly so you can get about your day. Image editing, anything you can do in one place, right? Context switching kills productivity. So if you can drop an image in, manipulate it, not have to put it into a separate application, saves you time and allows you to put some of that rich media into your content that helps illustrate concepts to your students faster. Now the document converters are not a feature that's available in Tiny MCE Premium currently, but I did want to show you, this is our commitment to extending these tools. This is basically an extension of PowerPaste. So this allows you to import whole Word documents. It's a bit much to try to copy and paste maybe 10 pages of a document. It allows you to import it, not lose formatting, export back out to Word or PDF. And then spell checker. Maybe a little embarrassing if we have some course material and we don't have all of our words correct. And then autocorrect also, so you don't have to worry about getting to the end. The dictionary will help you get through that and have your content be pristine and ready for learning. Okay, so AI. Tiny MCE, we've had a version of AI in our non-Moodle product since June of last year. What the Moodle subsystem works very similarly to this, and just brought this up to say that we've got a lot of experience now with what you put in and the quality of what you get out. There's an American actor named Justine Bateman that actually has a really good description of AI, the current state of it. She likens it to a blender. If you put really good ingredients in a blender, you get something tasty when it comes out. If you get your proportions off, if you're not quite sure how things go together, then it could be good. It'll be surprising, at least. So we're gonna spend the last couple of minutes talking about do's and don'ts for writing AI prompts. First one is be clear and specific. When I think about AI, I use it a lot in my own job. I think about it like a junior product marketer. Or for you, it could be a teaching assistant. You know, you don't give someone without a lot of experience a very general instruction and say, here, go write a syllabus. You've never done it, but just, write it. You've heard about it, you have some idea. So you want to be clear and specific in the language that you give it. You want to give it context. Not just simplify this text, but simplify this text while retaining the original meaning. Output requirements are important. It'll give you output, and AI does have a lot of knowledge to pull from, but what it gives you may not be exactly what you were looking to get. Testing and refining, very important. As you're putting those prompts in, you're gonna learn what works best and what doesn't, so you can start to, maintain your own little library of prompts. And then think about accommodating different user proficiencies. Now, this says use pre-engineered prompts. Those pre-engineered prompts could be stored, again, in a document or a database. So make this text shorter would be sort of the category. Summarize this content with it and give it to me in 300 words or 500 words. Be specific about that. Now, the don'ts are just as important. If you're vague, you're not going to get back. Vague instructions get vague results, honestly. Test things repeatedly. The last one is probably the most important. Set content boundaries. Don't do's are just as important as the do's. Write this, give me a, I had my example. This is what happens when you give a presentation after the party. Write a lesson on Newton's third law of physics. Be sure to reference all your sources. Third law of motion, not physics. And do not create any new data, any new information on your own. Something along those lines. AI does like to get what some people might say creative. When I first started using it, I didn't check everything as much as I should. Thank you, Carlos. So with the time we have left, we're going to look at what some of these do's and don'ts work out to. Now, where you see this lesson, this type of prompt would be maybe you ask it to generate something, and then this is the refinement of that based on how the subsystem works in Moodle today. So provide 3 specific learning activities or assignments that will help students further engage with core concepts. Tailor them to enhance comprehension and practical application. Very specific, asking for exactly what we want. Content repurposing is one of my favorite things to do with AI. You have a lesson, and you say, now give it to me in a different format. Make it a script for a podcast, those types of things. Content localization is pretty great. Modify this lesson to make it accessible for international students by replacing cultural references with neutral examples and simplifying terminology where necessary for global understanding. Very specific, but then it's going to, AI sometimes likes to make things fluffy. It likes to insert language that may not be exactly appropriate for an educational setting. These types of prompts helps you get closer to what's going to work for your students. Quiz generation is pretty good too. create 5 multiple choice questions about a specific topic. Again, Newton's third law of motion. Including 4 answer options per questions. Indicate the correct one. You get the idea at this point. So that's a quick sort of do's and don'ts on AI generation. The main thing is practice with it. You just have to kind of get a feel for it, test when you find the ones that work, make note of them, share them, help educate the rest of the people that you're working with. So to summarize, or I guess to end up today, we have more information about our relationship with Moodle, some of our premium features at the webpage with the QR code on the left. The one on the right is actually, we're really excited to produce our first ever Tiny MC Awards for Moodle. So we are running some awards looking to recognize good work in the categories of Best Open Source Plugin, if you've written a plugin for Tiny MCE in Moodle, Best Overall Implementation, and Best Content. That QR code will take you to the entry form, and you can enter for your own work, or you can nominate someone else who's working. And we're really excited to showcase how creative people have been with Moodle. Last thing I want to mention is that we're also participating in a webinar on November 7th about creating Tiny MC plugins. It is part of, there's a free course on using Tiny MC within Moodle. I think you have to be a student of that course, and then the webinar is on November 7th. Looking forward to having a lot of attendance there and participation. And I believe that is my time.